Hey, I were about to go looking for you. Hoping you might have a moment to chat. I got a letter from an old buddy of mine named Thoradin from back before when I met Liddy. He wants to meet in the Cutlass sometime, to catch up, you know. Now, back when I knew him, I wasn't the paragon of politeness and virtue you see before you today. No, I did some things I wasn't proud of. And let me put it this way, I don't think Liddy would like who I was back then. I know I didn't. This old friend. I know he's going to ask a favour. But he saved my life back when it wasn't worth saving. I think I owe it to him to hear him out. A grand tale of bad decisions and youthful stupidity. When I was just getting started out, I ran into some trouble. I felt like I had something to prove. So I did what anyone in my position would do. I tried to steal from ship Bareham. Second largest pirate ship in Luskan. They and the other ships pretty much control things here in these parts. So I, of course, figured I'd go and steal from them. Anyway, I broke into their headquarters, and I saw this fantastic dagger just lying there, only protected by several locks and an array of poison needle traps. Child's play. So I took it. Later I found out it belonged to High Captain Bareham himself. Silly me. They were ready to skin me alive. But Thoradin had contacts within Bareham, and he talked my way out of it. So I owe him. Thanks. You know, I don't care what anyone says. You're not so bad. Ha! Thoradin used to say that to me. I guess I'd best get some sleep. We've got a lot to do. I will say this. I wouldn't join your guild, even if it weren't pretty much destroyed right now. No upside in dealing with demons. It's not much of a tale. I were born in Westgate, near the Sea of Fallen Stars. My family were traders. They'd moved out of East Rift and sought a home among the humans. My father made a lot of coin very quickly there, mostly doing things he shouldn't have been doing, bribing officials for shipping contracts, smuggling goods into and out of town, that sort of thing. My mother never approved of my father's business. From the day she found out what we were up to, she started making contingency plans. She wasn't going to let Pa's problems bleed over into family. She was. I'm alive because of her. Finally, my father's Sturges came home to roost. He were murdered by rivals. And my mother took me siblings and I, hopped on a caravan and moved us all the way west to the City of Sails. And there we have it. How a fine young dwarf like me got mixed up in a place like Luskan. You know, this really takes me back. But I have some sleeping and resting that needs doing. Maybe we could wax nostalgic another time. Don't be a stranger.
Was hoping you'd a moment to talk. I'll keep this short. Me mother's in town, and she's looking for me. Usually I just ignore her, but Shivani says she seems pretty bloody upset. I'd appreciate it if we could go talk to her. Beats me. I'm told she says me brother and sister have gone missing, but they do that all the time, trying to start some business or other. Best that we go see what she wants before she takes down the whole bleeding city of Luskan looking for me. I'm not sure I trust that ghost when he says the guild's free of demonic influence. I suggest we watch each other for anything out of the ordinary. Aye, we haven't had a chance to talk very much since she joined up, have we? Me family goes way back. Back to Mithril Hall, if you believe that. Our family scattered from there after Shimmergloom attacked. And we returned when King Battlehammer signed the treaty with the Many Arrow Orcs. Aye. We were smiths. I know, be still your heart, but we were good. Me clan got the name Stoneforge because it says me ancestor could forge stone into a blade fit for battle. Why you'd want to do that, I'll never know. Me ma and dad left for Mirabar just before I was born. Looking to expand the family business, they said. Too much competition from other smiths, I say. Me da was anything but stupid, that's for sure. We made good coin there, and we made a name for ourselves in Mirabar. I worked in the forge as a wee lass, swinging a hammer right alongside me da. Funny remembering it now. I'm not sure I hated it as much as I thought I did. Well, I need to get a bite to eat. Maybe we'll find some time to talk later. Don't be a stranger.
I can do that.
Hey, I wondered if I could, bend your ear for a moment. Something came up and I might need your help. You know how I was training with the Harples before they kicked me out? After I, raised some zombies I shouldn't have. Anyway, well, ever since Mafferel passed away, I've been thinking. I need to get back on track with my studies. And as great as it is chasing down demons with you, well, it's not exactly going to get me my big, tall, intimidating tower in the centre of an unforgiving wasteland, is it? That's the sort of thing a wizard needs, if people are going to respect him. Yes, undoubtedly, if you'll assist me in finding it. I received a letter from a woman named Dagatha. Before you ask, neither my mother, sister, or lover. Though, with a name like Dagatha, she's probably really into smart young wizards. Anyway, she said she's working for a book collector in Luskan and that she has a tome I might like to see. Something that could help me develop as a user of magic. Well, she sounded really smart in the letter. And why would anyone want to trick me? I'm no one. I mean, unless they were trying to get to you, but really, who'd want to do that? We'll go talk to Dagatha, maybe read a book or two, and we're done. Back to fighting demons and saving the Sword Coast. No harm, no foul. I'd really appreciate it if we can find the time. If not, I guess I'll just cry myself to sleep at night, that's all. As mentors go, Mafferel was pretty great. I mean, he did sometimes act like he hated me or he thought I was stupid, but I could tell it was all an act. There was the one time he threatened to pull out my soul and attach it to a doorstop, but I rather deserved it. Ancient Netherese scrying crystals don't come cheap, you know. Where should I begin? Well, I was born in a small village near Longsaddle to very young parents who were farmers just because their own parents had been farmers and had all died the winter before. No, they all killed each other. An ancient family feud. Very tragic, really. My ma told me it started over the ownership of an enormous tomato and grew from there, as these things do. When I was born, my ma and da hoped I'd be able to help them out on the farm. But really, they'd have been better off hiring a farmhand. It's like they didn't realise I'd be born as a baby and not as a strapping lad of 13 years. Sure, I like parents. Mine were just a little dim, that's all. You might not know it to look at me now, but I was a scrawny child, and I was of little use on the farm. I tried very hard, but I never really took to manual labour. So my parents did what I believe any other loving parents in their situation would do. They sought around for someone willing to trade. A son for a son. And the next thing I knew, I met my Uncle Kipper. You know, remembering all that now, I'm starting to think that maybe my parents weren't as loving as I once thought. If you don't mind, I'd rather like some time to think. All right, you know where to find me.
At once.
What can I do for you? Mafferel's tale is troubling. If the Brothers Dawntreader did indeed cast their lots with a demon, then its power may still be upon you, despite what the ghost suggests. I'd advise caution. I trust you, but we cannot be sure what your nightmares mean, or what power they may hold over you. There is not much to tell. I have dedicated myself to the search for a relic called the Moon Tear, a relic of Sehanine, lost decades ago as a result of my own childish ignorance. I remember I was around 15 years old, a toddling babe by elven reckoning. I had a friend, Serik, the best companion a young girl could have. But my parents did not approve of our friendship. My parents scolded and punished and eventually kept me from my dear friend, the one child with whom I could play, laugh, and experience joy. One day, I was out playing, on my own, when a group of travellers approached me. They said they were hungry and in need of supplies, but I could tell that they were drow. Even then, I knew what that meant. But, consumed by my childish anger and ignorance, I decided that... Gods forgive me. I decided that a confrontation with the drow would be a fitting punishment for my mother and father, for denying me Serik's companionship. I was, but it was no excuse for what I did. In a fit of pique, I gave the drow travellers directions to our village, hoping to... I don't know what I hoped. I wanted my parents to hurt the way they made me hurt. But what happened was much, much worse. The drow turned out to be forward scouts for a raiding party. They invaded our village, killing and capturing my people, my family. We had been given the sacred honor of protecting a relic of Sehanine. While ransacking our home, the drow took the Moon Tear. I knew of the drow. I knew what they were capable of. I thought such tragedy was the thing of stories and fables, not of real life. I search now for the Moon Tear, both to recover it for my goddess, but also in the hopes of making amends for my sins, for my wrath, my ignorance. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted. If there's nothing else, I'd like to take a moment and reflect. The Lady of Dreams go with you.
Right away.